You keep saying it's a 30-second intro, but honestly, like I feel like
it's 30 seconds. 30 seconds, exactly.
Wait, isn't there a timer on it too?
Is that like Caribbean time? Is that American time? Which time?
What was the first word you said?
Caribbean.
Caribbean.
It's
Caribbean. Yeah, that's cool.
White's got nothing to do with it. You public.
Wow, you brought race into that stupid comment.
You know who went to public school over here? Jesus.
Yeah, it's Caribbean.
You went to private school.
No, I went to government-funded school in the military, so.
I went to government.
Is that much better?
No, all they really taught me how to do was identify a child rapist and incursions into Russia.
So look at you two fuckers in the same room.
That's true. Yes. That's true. Meg flew in and called me from LAX. She's like, I'm here. I was like, mazel to you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Here's the number. Here's my local Uber driver. See you in 20.
Right.
Yeah. Please.
How far away is the airport from you?
An hour 20.
Oh, that's a shitty drive.
She bought donuts, so it worked itself out pretty
Did you bring them on the plane and like carry them awkwardly and sit there with them?
Did you? I didn't actually ask you if you did that. Did you bring me donuts from Philly?
No.
Oh,
that's why I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, I brought myself, and that was it pretty much.
And like 45 pounds of books.
Yeah, I brought all my textbooks with me.
Why?
She's a fucking nerd.
Because I have to study. I'm in school.
Whatever. That's shitty.
I am a nerd.
Yeah. That all being said, though, yeah, Meg had some free time, so I was like, hey, I'm not doing anything, so come out and hang out. So.
Here's what really happened.
Oh, thank God, because I think I was drinking when I had the conversation. So
I was too. So remember the first day I downed the bottle of wine?
Like, what, the last 9 episodes in a row?
So you mean breakfast? Keep going.
The first time I downed the whole bottle of wine when I was just drinking straight from the bottle.
Breakfast.
And Hugh and I were talking after the show, and he's like, you should come visit. I'm drunk. Meg's like, that's a great idea. And the next morning,
how'd that go?
What happened in our conversation? I'm like, I fucking hate this person so much. How the fuck did he convince me to buy a plane ticket right after school started? And honestly, I was like, I can't get rid of it.
Honestly, it sounds like socialist propaganda to me.
You guys are idiots. I love it. I love it.
By the way,
definitely dumb.
By the way, Billy, I wanted to tell you that I was watching a video on the dark part of the interwebs the other day, and they use the same opening format that we do.
What?
The Texas Roadhouse Outback thingy.
Well,
yeah,
now we.
Well, so I was watching.
Well, see, the way you fix that, Hugh, is you get like right off here, like right here by me, and just play the Purge music, and there's a point.
It was funny too because I came about it by happenstance. So I was watching a video. It was like Marines kill snakes, and I scrolled down. I saw a snake eats kid, and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. So that ended. So I kept scrolling. I was like, kid falls into volcano. I'm like, oh, all right. So I watched that. Then I kept scrolling. I was like, oh, look, a creme brulee show. And then they turned on, and I was like, oh, we use that opener. Well, all right, that's look at that.
Yeah, it's generic until we get our own stuff. So it is what it is. Thank you for letting everyone know that.
Welcome to Live This Goddamn Podcast.
Yeah, hey, how's it going, fuckers? Woo! Like Jesus. So Hugh, who do we got today for a guest?
Oh, man, I'm pretty excited. So Senior Chief retired. Brian Oliver owns the only brewery that I go drink at in Ventura whenever I'm out here, Poseidon's Brewery. I think when I came out here in 2012, he was getting started. My buddy Joe, who is out here, when I came out the second time, he was like, hey, there's a brewery opening up and we're going to go. So most Thursdays and Fridays, since the state's on lockdown, that's where I'm at. They always have a food truck, and they get this dope-ass teriyaki pineapple bowls. We're going to go get one tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, pineapple. This is like as big as my head. Rice, chicken, steak, scrimps, and sauteed veggies. Oh, it's fucking phenomenal.
Do you remember that? What was it from the food truck? The food truck at Makers that was that the top was it a taco bowl that I got?
Taco bowl, yeah, that was pretty fucking good.
God, so spicy, so horrible.
And I'll tell you what I really like about the location.
Like
nice. What I really like about the brewery is, because I know you've been to places that they're here just to make beer and they don't really care about the display. He's got all the paint in there is like sea blues and sea greens, epoxy wormwood countertops. All of the lights have like old divers helmets around them.
That's fucking awesome.
Professionally welded bright tanks. Like it is just the attention to detail is phenomenal. And I even went. Somebody invited me out for a beer, and I went and met them at another brewery. And they're like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Honestly, I kind of feel like I need to be on a registry after being here. This place is weird. It makes me very uncomfortable being here. I did not like it. 11 out of 10 would not recommend again."
Jesus.
So our guest today is Senior Chief retired Brian Oliver. Welcome aboard.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
So Brian,
that was a pretty good custom discuss you guys had going on there. Interesting intro.
I'm only allowed to use like 8 words, so I decided 6 of them had to be profanities, and then
yeah, absolutely.
give me a credit.
That's okay. I speak fluent trucker also. Fluent trucker with a sailor accent.
There you go.
That's totally acceptable.
Brian, what are you drinking, man?
That's the Liberty Card Lager.
That is my favorite.
The one on the right there.
This one
that you're drinking. Yep.
Yeah.
That's our first lager that we brewed, and after being open for like 6 years, we're like, hell, might as well just try to brew a lager too. A little bit of a different game brewing lagers and ales, but
really,
what was the first beer you made?
The first one for the brewery or like homebrew?
Yeah, for the brewery.
For the brewery, I want to say it was a Belgian wit, and we called it Wanimi Wit, and it was like one of my favorite like homebrew recipes. I think that was the actual first one that came through the tap on the wall, and I was like still building out the tap room at that time, and that one, and it might have been, I think the other one in that 4-pack right there, Ironclad, was probably like the second beer that we brewed. Yeah, and it's been a huge hit ever since. Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Man, and now you just bought. I understand you bought the bay right next to your brewery as well?
Yeah. So COVID presented some interesting challenges, and
you don't say.
Yeah, I don't say. Right. It took something that was already difficult and made it harder, but we always had a saying like, hey, the difficult, CBs, the difficult we do right away, the impossible, it just takes us a minute longer.
Yeah.
But this one's freaking challenging. So there used to be a gym. It was a CrossFit gym, and we took that over. It's about 3,300 square foot. That's actually going to be our new tasting room or tap room. Hopefully by the end of first quarter, 2021.
Hot damn.
Yeah, that's it. That's if we were able to push hard enough and get all the plans done and get through plan check and not have hit any hurdles or anything. So there's going to be a lot of construction. People are going to see a lot of construction, like small projects and stuff going on over time between now and then. So we're looking at the earliest March, but the architect and the city folk they're telling me probably more like June, which is fine, So
it's better than not doing it at all.
It's better than not doing it at all, man. And this is the reason that we decided to jump on that. I mean, it's like it was an opportunity that was just like presented to us, and we're like, I think we should jump on it because even when we're allowed to open back up and they do the phases of opening up, the first phase is going to be 25% capacity. And Hugh, I heard you describing the tap room and stuff, and it's awesome, but it's tiny. One of the biggest mistakes that I did is I made it way too freaking small. And if we open up at 25% capacity, that's like 5 people. Yeah. And then the next phase would be 50% capacity. So we're like 10 people. I'm like, that juice ain't worth the squeeze. No. So I kind of took the long view on it and said, hey, this opportunity's here. Let's go ahead and build COVID. We're going to get a vaccine. This thing is going to herd immunity, whatever. It's, the last big pandemic was like 1918 or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And right around that.
We got past that one. So taking the long view on it. So 25% capacity at 3,300 square foot is a hell of a lot better.
Yes,
absolutely.
So that's why we jumped on it, took the long view on it, and then plus it allowed us the opportunity to we didn't have access to that outdoor space So now we can set up a whole, it's about a 1,800 square foot to 2,000 square foot patio out back because we do have that new space. So it allowed us a lot of flexibility and be able to offer a better guest experience at the brewery.
Good deal.
So I have a question for you. I'm sorry. How many different beers have you made, and also how many do you have on tap now?
We have interesting you asked that right now because we ended up just setting up a jockey box today to release a special cask beer. But we make over 60 different beers.
Whoa.
And that's not even counting. We have a Spindrift Series. I'm not sure if you guys know what Spindrift is. If you're like in Force 9 freaking seas and you see that damn snot and stuff blowing off the waves and whatnot, that's called Spindrift. And we call it Spindrift because it's always like changing and evolving and moving. It's like so we do a Spindrift Series, which is a single malt, single hop IPA, and we've probably done 30 plus of those alone, not counting the other 60 beers. Jesus. So it's something that we maximize. We maximize the potential on this because we're small and we're agile and we can turn those tanks real quick. So we do like a lot of R&D. So there's a lot of those 60 beers that gone but not forgotten because the flagships have kind of risen to the top and we're turning the tanks over and over on those. Yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, over 60, probably about 20 plus Spindrifts, and that's not even counting the cask. So we've done, like, for every beer, we've done special cask. My assistant brewer, he's going to be the head brewer probably next year. Anthony's done a phenomenal job with the cask program, and he's came up with like multiple casks for each one of those different beers that have been just huge hits for the brewery. Yeah.
That's fucking
so a lot of beer.
That's awesome.
With COVID coming around in California, I noticed compared to my last time I was here, a lot of the restaurant menus are significantly smaller. Are you guys limited on how many beers you can have on tap due to the virus?
Not really. Not really. It's more along the lines of tank time, burn rates. And that kind of puts us in kind of a little bit of a chokehold because with the COVID thing, one of the biggest challenges that we're facing other than the taproom side is the distribution side. And we have a very small distribution footprint because I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, right? So we're not on tap anywhere where they didn't come find us. You know, never went out and like tried to panhandle my beer and sell the beer. It's people that heard of us, tried the beer, want the beer on tap. So it's like there's people who are vetted, they're interested in the product. They so it's more of a challenge on that front, trying to control the consumption rate with the burn rate, with the distribution rate. So that's more kind of like the I don't remember what terminology you had, the chokehold or whatever, but
that's your pinch point there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long day already. Yeah. So yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah, balancing all that stuff, you know, because what happened was that I don't know if you guys know it or not, unless you're kind of like into the industry, but like when this COVID thing hit, and it shut down a lot of retail accounts. So a lot of these really big breweries are people that had very like robust distribution footprints. They didn't have anywhere for their beer to go. So they had tanks, huge freaking tanks that were full of beer that were rapidly approaching being merchantable. Is that the word? Because it was getting out of code. So yeah, thanks. And so they
that word.
Yeah, well, let's just make up some words, right?
We know what we're talking about. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Let's just fucking wing it, right? So Yeah, so that was the problem. I mean, we kind of navigated that really well. I mean, we didn't have a big distribution footprint, but you could bet it was a freaking butthole puckering freaking moment when the taproom model was under siege, and we're like, oh man, people aren't gonna be coming in that freaking door. So now what are we gonna do? And then we literally had to pivot to a damn production brewery, a package brewery, like overnight. Like everything. Here's a funny fact for you. So everything that was going through that tap room and our small distribution footprint, literally overnight had to go through a can to go off premise purpose or off premise sales. Yeah. So I remember the meeting. I remember looking at everybody's marbles, and they're just like, "Oh my God, am I gonna have a job?" and all that stuff. You know, I'm really freaking proud of the fact that we didn't have to lay one person off. We didn't have to take one triple P freaking loan, no government handout or nothing, and we're still chugging along. And I think that's a testament to the crew. I think that's a testament to the product, the brewery, and our heart and souls that we put into it. Because here's the fact that what used to take us 5 to 6 months to go through a pallet of cans, and I know the big breweries or whoever's watching this out there going, haha, that's a freaking joke, but it's a big one for us, right? So what used to take us 5 to 6 months to go through 5,500 cans went to a 20-day burn rate overnight.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
We were literally filling, sealing, and labeling every 4-pack and putting that thing together by hand, and we're still doing it by hand. I ordered a canner 4 months ago and it still ain't here yet because everybody ordered a canner.
Everybody else felt the same kind of heat. They're like, we adapt and overcome.
Yeah. So like most of those operating hours went from startup duties to their startup duties were like filling and sealing and 4-packing, and that's how we were able to maintain the crew.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you just celebrated an anniversary, didn't you?
Yeah, we just made it over our 6-year hump. In August 11th was our actual 6-year anniversary of opening. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
August, so you were well into the COVID situation and still able to celebrate another anniversary. Pardon me.
Yep.
Without any kind of you didn't have to lay anybody off. You kept cranking them out. And now you guys are open.
Yep.
Because when I got out here in July, you guys were only open for patio seating 2 days a week. Now you're open 4. Is that right?
Yeah, we were 3. We started off with 3. We started off with Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
That's right, Sundays.
And then we just recently added on Thursdays. So we're open tonight. Yeah.
What
it's
did the state have a lot of input on you opening up on Thursdays?
No, not really. They don't really care. They don't care what days or what the most of the laws that there's big state laws, there's federal laws and stuff, but the county and the city can always make things more stringent, but they don't really care about things like days opening. They really care more about, because certain licenses have certain privileges, and with top 23 is what we have for a small beer manufacturer, we can only open for up till like 10 o'clock. So the real choke was like, we're not slinging hard alcohol. We're not a bar. We're not open till like damn 2, 3 in the morning or whatnot. So as long as we like gear down by like 10, we're good. And that could be 7 days a week. The weird one is we cannot self-distribute, or I don't even think distributors can distribute beer in the state of California on Sunday.
What?
Yes.
What?
That's something I could see happening in the South.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, a lot of states in the South and then Pennsylvania, they don't sell liquor on Sundays.
What's really funny that you say that, I always found it so humorous, was that one of the biggest alcohol manufacturers, Jack Daniels, is in a dry county.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah. So it's like, it's usually the South and the Midwest are like that. Because where I'm at, they actually have in the grocery stores curtains that go over like the beer aisle, so that you can't even get tempted. Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah.
I remember I went on an exercise in Mississippi one time, and we went out to lunch, and my buddy ordered a Corona, and she was like, "What? I can't. No." He's like, "Well, what about Heineken? No. Bud Light? No." He's like, "Well, what do you have?" She's like, "Well, I can't serve beer on Sunday."
Well, why don't you say that after the first one? Like,
well, he's right. So we're in Mississippi, right? So he looks at her. He goes, "Hold on, you can fuck your own cousin in the state, but I can't buy a beer on Sunday."
So you should have led with that one.
Ollie,
yeah.
I'm curious. So you were in the Navy for 23 years, correct?
Almost 24, yeah.
Almost 24
and a half, yep.
So going from that into what you do now, where did that start? What piqued your interest into, man, I'm gonna make my own fucking beer.
Man, I'm sure
everybody.
I'm sure as an E1 sitting in the barracks, he was like, I can do better than that.
I get that. But what do you remember a specific moment where you?
That's not what I was thinking as the E1 in the barracks here. No, it was like I had other motivations.
No, Billy doesn't have a question. You were a senior chief.
I still have those motivations today, but
Billy's got a good question though. You were a senior chief. You're coming up on retirement. At what point did you say, instead of jumping back into government work and doing the exact same thing for twice as much money, I'm gonna go make beer?
Yeah, like was there a moment? Was there like an exact moment where you remember, like you can pinpoint, you had that like aha moment, like this is what I'm doing?
Yes. I got two of them. I got two of those aha moments, and everybody asks, and I'll get in those aha moments in a second. But like, the thing that I would tell people, you know, even when I was at E1 in the barracks, is, and they're asking me like, why'd you want to friggin' open a brewery? Why are you that fucking crazy? And I was like, tell people because I got a drinking problem, because I only have I had two hands and one mouth, and I couldn't get the goddamn beer in quick enough. So it's like I got a drinking problem. So I need to figure out a way to like make more cheaper. And I was like, at the time I was doing the math, and I'm like, okay, so this is $6 a 6-pack, but I can make it for 50 cents a can or 25 cents a can. So I'm like doing my like scheming stuff, like
you're hustling.
Totally didn't even think about like, okay, the fermenters are $500. The goddamn brew kettles are freaking $6.
You're thinking about the end product. You're like, I need to consume.
I should have woke up right then when I had to spend like thousands of dollars on the damn home brew system. Like, you know, if I scale this up, then I'm just going to be like swimming in it, right?
So hard pass.
Well, that was one. So it's like, but here, this is what the trigger was. So, and there's two of them. One, we were at this very special place called Applebee's, and we were doing a team. We always did like fundraisers and stuff. So Applebee's, jokingly, but Applebee's was always there for us. And they're like, hey, just have everybody sign this. We'll do a percentage of sales and blah, blah, blah. And it was a good team building experience. And we'd always go to Applebee's. And it's like, so I was sitting there, and like my wife and Vanina and I we were like Silver Bullet fans, like Coors Light. Silver Bullet wouldn't slow us down, you know. It's like it was like that's what we were drinking. And so I ordered my damn cold freaking, like, what do they got, 20 inch glasses of, you know, yeah, they're frosty, ginormous freaking glasses of like Silver Bullets and shit. You know, I'm gonna put like 12 of these down at this party, and it's like, you know, and my buddy was like, what else you got on draft? That never even occurred to me to ask. Like, that's what I got at the package store on base. You know, the fancy shit was Zima Clear Malt 40 years ago, right? So,
I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up.
You remember that crap?
Zima, the White Claw of the 90s.
Yeah, Zima. So this guy's asking, like, what else is on draft? And I'm like, I didn't think about draft then. You know, just the shit showed up, and it just shows you just like how you just like you don't even know what you don't know, right? So she's going through the list, and she's like, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, oh, Firestone double barrel. And this guy loses his shit. And he's like, oh, that's it. I'll have that. And I'm like, what? Firestone? I've never even heard of Firestone, right? So she brings out this thing, and this beautiful freaking tall glass, mahogany, like thick tan head on it. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, let me try that. And it's like, so I grabbed a beer and I drink that. And I'm like, holy shit, that was one of the pivotal moments. And I'm like, I'm gonna pound this Coors Light, but that's gonna be my next beer.
Like it was like a gourmet. It was like going from a McDonald's
Yes.
hamburger to a gourmet meal.
Like Red Robin.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes. It was that was one. And then another one was, I was on a train ride down to San Diego, and they're like, dang, freaking beverage cart's open. And I didn't even know they had a beverage cart. That was interesting. So it's like 4-hour ride. So I go down there and I grab a bottle of beer. Coolest freaking label ever seen. It was like screen printed, had the gargoyle on it. You guys know where I'm going with this shit.
Oh, Stone?
So it's like, yes. And it was like, it was either, this is where it's fuzzy. It was Stone IPA or freaking Stone Arrogant Bastard, one of the two. Anyway, I got that thing back to my seat.
I love a good Arrogant Bastard.
Yeah. I got that beer back to my seat, and it was literally, I took a swig of that. It wasn't even in a glass, so you didn't get the aromatics and all that stuff. But I took a swig of that beer, and I was like, it was one of those, you pull it back and you're like, holy shit, how did they put that in that freaking package? And it was like, and then from those two, I was like, dude, there's more to beer. There's way more to beer. And I'm going to dive into this shit. I'm going to bulldog on a bone this. And I'm just like, and I started home brewing in 2005. And it was just like beer after beer after beer, very eclectic. Every style.
And you were still active duty Navy.
Still active duty. And
very cool. Very cool.
I'll admit, in 2005, I was on shore duty, so it allowed me a little time to experiment with this and really take a deep dive into it and like build my own homebrew system and whatnot. So it's that's kind of how it all started, man. That's how those two pivotal moments, when everybody asked me, they just like front of mind like that.
It's so awesome to just to hear the passion in your voice from it, just how excited you get about just telling those stories. It's funny that you say that about I'm from the East Coast, so I'm from Long Island, and we have a very small microbrew back point called.
They have soft stuff in Long Island.
Called
Long Island.
Called the Blue Point Brewery. And I went home on leave one time with my father was like, "Hey bud, let's go grab a beer," because my mom and my sisters were gone. He's like, "Let's sneak out the fucking house. Let's go get wasted down at the brewery." So I'm like, okay, great. So same thing. I asked for a bottle of this lager, Blue Point, Brewing lager they had. Never had it before. It's the same thing. I usually drank Budweiser or Coors Light or whatever. And I sat back and I went,
of course.
Holy shit. Can I take all of this home? Can you put all of this in a container and just put it in my trunk? Yeah. So I had that, but I've looked it up just to try to get into the homebrew. And I think it's either you have to be fully committed or just stay the fuck away from it. Like that's how I feel it is.
Really just can't either.
You can't half-ass it, man. There's like so many memes out there, like where people are like, "Hey, try my home brew beer." It's like this. It's like some of the stuff you're like, but that's funny. That's funny because I've always told people, even as a home brewer or even professional, like, look, dude, if you don't like it, don't drink it. It's not your thing. It's no big deal, or it's just freaking nasty. It's like. You got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, and typically in like home brewing, you're going to screw some shit up. It's like, but when you get to the commercial side of the house, you better have it fucking dialed in, because you don't have a opportunity for a second damn chance. It's like, especially with as competitive as the market is today, and how many breweries are out there. I mean. It's Hugh, we were talking about this in the parking lot the other day. There's a lot of breweries out there. I think we're over 4 or 5 since Prohibition. We passed Prohibition levels a couple years ago. But the thing is, there's a lot of room for growth and expansion still, because there's like 15,000 wineries in the United States.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
never a shortage of fucking wine, and everybody and their father can just open a winery, and And I don't drink wine as much as the next other person might in Napa Valley or whatnot, but I imagine that there's the same level of quality that you care about in beer that people do in wine, but beer can be made a lot quicker. You can rise and fall a lot quicker with beer than you can with wine.
Yeah.
Beer can be made quicker, but wineries have a lot more, and I know there's probably some vintners out there probably about to lose their shit, because I'll tell you a funny story about beer and wine and timelines and stuff. I said something to the wrong crowd, but you better have a lot of time on your hands is the moral of the story. But they have to be clean. We have to be sanitary, because the high alcohol content in wine, it's not as you don't have the opportunity to have an infection as much as you do in the beer process, you know.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more challenging. It's more challenging on that front, but that's where you guys are military, so that's where SOP. Everybody knows what SOP, standard operating freaking procedure, man. Like on the dive side, we had checklists a mile long to start that freaking system up and to shut it down and all that. And I think that's where some of my military background really served me well. Is that
I can only imagine.
you know,
I can only imagine you got because I've seen your bright tanks. Everything is lined up in your tap room. And it's very clear that there's a manner in which you will conduct yourself and move through the phases when you're making your beer.
I'm pretty sure that crew freaking like they understand now, but the importance of the appearance and the cleanliness and taking care of that equipment and those SOPs, and you know, in the military we're always taught that you take care of your gear and your gear is going to take care of you, and it's it's something that carried over like big time, and it's paid off huge dividends for us.
Clearly. I'm sure your first brewmaster showed up and was like, yeah, this wasn't in the LinkedIn profile.
No, fucking funny. You want to hear a funny story about the first brewmaster?
Yeah,
hold on. I'll give you a funny. Yeah, hold on. Refill. So
there you go.
I'm back in South Carolina working on a crack house me and my brother own.
Naturally.
And yeah, Vanita, my wife, calls me, and so I was working with a guy up in Buellton, and he was a head brewer at a brewing company up there, and I was just talking to him about the plans and the project and what I had going on and stuff, and just wanted to know if he wanted a consulting job. And then next thing I know, I got a phone call. It's like, hey, we hired our first brewer. I'm like, what the fuck you mean we hired our first brewer? We're not even we haven't even built the place out yet. She's like, yeah, he wants to come work for us. I was like, holy shit. So it was like, it was this, when you look back, you know, through the short lens of history in retrospect, it was the most phenomenal thing that could ever happen, because that guy really, really, really got freaking Poseidon Brewing Company started off on the right foot. And I tell you what, I would bend over fucking backwards. If that guy called me right now, I'd get up and freaking go help him out. Because this guy, I told him, I'm like, hey, dude, you guys got to keep in mind, I was still active duty military. I was doing logistics for underwater construction teams. I was traveling around this fucking planet. I was so fucking translucent thin, you could see right through me. I mean, I was going to damn Philippines. I was going to Korea, Hawaii, Kauai. It's like I was doing all the logistics for the detachments and stuff. And this guy came in and set everything up. He dialed in the system. And I told him, I'm like, dude, take as much time as you want and start writing everything you're doing down. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. It's not really funny, but so he, you know, people like move on. People move on, and he was like, hey, I have this opportunity. What's up? Come here. All right, man. You guys got to meet this little bastard right quick. This is some cat that lives over across the 2 blocks over, and he comes in my garage just to say hi. What's up?
That's so awesome.
His name is Snowball.
Oh my god, I love
What's up, Snowball?
Fantastic.
Just a random cat.
Hey, buddy.
He's wanting to sit in my lap.
Love you, mean it.
But back to the story right quick. So Reno takes off, and literally it's like I went from full operational mode to, all right, I'm retired and I own a brewery now. And literally it was a day we were closed, and I had a piece of paper. I had a piece of paper with a SOP, a standard operating procedure that Reno wrote, and I had a pile of freaking grain, and I had a damn tank of hot water, and I went through line 1, turn this, do that, put this in that, and I'm just like check, and I'm like, I went through the whole process by myself. Yes,
that's the best.
Without,
that's the fucking best.
He broke it down.
You talk about drinking from a damn fire hose, and it was like I came home, and Vanita was like, "Well, how did it go?" I was like, "Well, there's beer in the tank, or there's wort in the tank. We'll see what we got in about 3 weeks." And it was like, and then, but slowly but surely, it's like, the confidence level rose, and we started doing the tweaking and the modification, and it's like every beer on the board, Reno's beer started coming off. Our beer started like, they're still like our beers and whatnot, but like the beers that we brewed, without Reno there, started like going on slowly but surely. I'm like, okay, so that was like that pivotal moment of like really transitioning over to like being the brewer at your own brewery. It was like,
that's
it was a piece of paper.
It sounds like that's when it really kind of started to solidify. Like, this is what we're doing. We've got the process. We've got the equipment. This is what we're doing. We're going full send.
Full send.
Yep.
Full send. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's like hey man, I equate it to like a surf entry. I don't know if you guys ever done one, paddling, surfing, whatever. The waves are coming.
Yeah.
You got 2 choices, man. You paddle fucking harder, you're gonna get rolled, or you plan ahead and you see it and you duck under it, and but there's another one coming. So it's just, you're in this perpetual motion of like paddling your ass off to try to like make it to like steady water. It's like, it keeps you on your toes, man. It definitely keeps you on your freaking toes. Yep.
I remember when I came out here for my second C school, and our friend Joe was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to this brewery." I'm like, all right, cool. So we drove up there, and I remember we stood in line outside to wait for seating because it was fucking packed.
Really? And
then we got in, and there weren't any seats, so we had to stand there. I was like, "Joe, why the fuck do you come here?" And I'm looking around, and I'm admiring everything. I'm like, fuck, like, it's beautiful. Holy fuck. Like, I don't know who he paid to do this, but honestly, it is great. He goes, I was like, Joe, honestly, eventually we get to the point where I'm like, Joe, I think it'd be really cool to fucking meet the brewery. He goes, oh, no, he's at work. What do you mean he's at work? Boy, he's still active duty. What?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. He just, every now and again, he calls in and he's like, hey, I'm going to my brewery, so call me if you need me, but I really hope you don't because we're not deployable right now. I was like, holy shit.
That's great.
That was
dude,
you were like 2 years in, I think, at that point, right? Is that?
Yeah, man. Those were some really, really.
When you retired, right?
Yeah, those were some really, really challenging times, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, you better fucking bring it. It's like,
the CMC, like, listen, it's not that I'm not here. It's that I'd rather brew beer since I'm retiring soon.
Yeah, and you're at a crossroad. You were literally at a freaking crossroads, and this is where it kind of just tears you apart, man. Because you're at the crossroads of like and more understand it. Like right now, it's like that business can't have any distractions, because, and it's not just the brewing. It's that environment that you just explained a minute ago was just so freaking painful to me, Hugh. It's like, I've seen people open the door and we were so packed, and they shut the door, and you hear them like, and they're like, let's just go to some other brewery. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we built the place too small. And big lesson learned, which was another reason why, like, when that space came up, we're like, no brainer. Let's do it. Let's give, because right now, we got the beer dialed in, the crew's dialed in. I got a phenomenal freaking crew. I mean, like, this crew on deck right now is just like top fucking notch. And I'm so proud of those guys. And so the only other thing that like we're missing is like the guest experience. And I don't want anybody to ever come in and not have a seat or not feel like they're going to be taken care of, or like, they're going to get great beer. You know they're going to get great service,
11
but
out
you
of
want
10.
that wow factor, and you want everybody to be taken care of, and that's kind of like, other than the COVID thing that keeps me awake at night right now, is like, how can I keep making better beer, great fucking beer, and provide phenomenal customer service?
Right.
You know,
Have you
I don't even like to use the word customer. I like to call our people our guests, because when they come to our place, they're our guest in our house.
It's
and
true.
It's, you know,
You can tell.
I would never put profits above people, and I want people to be comfortable and happy. You know.
Yeah. Have you decided
Yeah.
how you're going to build and decorate the new place?
Yeah, we're working on it right now. I'm trying to. So I know the big thing that jumps out to everybody is like the reclaimed lumber, the wormwood and stuff like that. We can't do that much of that in the new place because it's so freaking big. So I think it's just going to have to be some accent pieces, some like framed out artwork and stuff, or like maybe like a heavy timber pergola over the bar or whatnot. But like not super fancy, because it's a tasting room, man. We're gonna have a huge cooler in there with to-go options. A really nice bar area. We're gonna finally have a legitimate company store, because right now, you've seen it, man. It's like everything's piled up on top of the bar behind us. Like, people don't even know we have 50. They don't even know we have 50 cal bullets for freaking Poseidon like engraved in the brass for sale, or like the magnets or all the t-shirts and stuff. And it's like, see, that's the problem.
For tomorrow, I'll be there to pick one up.
We're gonna
Billy, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's bullets to bandages, or bandages to bullets, or something. It's a awesome operation down in, I think they're out of San Diego. But their 50 cal bullet bottle openers are badass. But anyway, so I want people to be able to like have that tap room wow experience, and the company store, and then the tap room that now is going to be our personal private event space. So if people want to do weddings or like anniversary, whatever you have, they'll have that whole facility to do their private events. And then the plan is right now have a small barrel room / like secret squirrel private event room. Like it's like 13 by 16 or something like that. Parties of like 18 or 20. Hold on a second, man. My battery just friggin' says it's going to die. Let me plug it in right quick.
So I actually have a question for you. So with this new tasting room that you have, what are your plans for the future? Are you going to expand and start creating like different? I know that you guys make lagers, IPAs, stout. Like you have those. Are you planning to further extend into different avenues of brewing? Like I know that there's like sours, there's a ton of other methods. There's nitros. Are you guys planning on doing something like that in the future? Like what are your future plans for brewing?
So we already offer nitros. That's one thing that's like not glaringly obvious also. I mean, people would have to tell you, or you'd have to ask for what's on nitro. Sours, I'd probably venture into like what they call kettle sours. It's kind of like cheating a little bit, because it's a little bit more safer. It's more like lactobacillus than Brettanomyces. The Brett, when you inoculate something, what? Did that just like? Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, I know those words.
Did he just start speaking Chinese?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know this.
But anyway, so there's two ways to do the sours. You can do the cheat way, which is a kettle sour, where you boil the wort, you inoculate it with lactobacillus, which gives the souringness to the beer. Then you finish the boil after like 24 to 48 hours, and then you send that to the tank. It's relatively safe. And then the Brett is like the real legitimate way to do it, where you put the beer in the barrels and then you inoculate it, and then it's somewhere between 10 to 12 months. And then again, I know there's probably some sour brewers out there that are probably just like spinning their, like, we don't even know what he's talking about. Well, yeah, This is very broad brushstroke shit of my understanding of the sour worlds. I appreciate them. I wouldn't mind doing some of them in the future. And then the other one that I wouldn't mind doing is I really want to get a barrel age program going. And the thing that's kind of stopped us in the past from that is like real estate and like where we're going to put it. And then with so many beers and trying to stabilize everything and like, I know I sound like a bag of freaking excuses here, but like, you know, I want to, when I do something, I don't like to do it half-ass, and I want to go full fucking bore, and I want to do it 110 fucking %, and I want to do it right. And right now I don't have the time and energy to focus on that because the biggest thing on my plate right now is that new expansion plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Never.
So I want to make sure I got that right.
Last one thing.
Yeah, I want to make sure I got that right, and then we'll start splicing those special projects. Guys, I need 1 minute. Be right back.
He got to pee 100%.
I mean, it happens. Did you see what Justin just said? The disrespect. Hugh's face makes me want to drink.
I mean, you know, you support small breweries and whatnot. It's getting a little bit hard with those consonants and whatnot.
Who was it? Somebody else said that. Somebody else said that.
Why does she?
You look like a fish in this camera.
Fuck you, Gavin. File your VA claim, you piece of shit.
By the way, Guinness farted earlier, so if you saw me making a really nasty face, it's because Guinness farted right next to me.
It did happen. Yeah. So if anybody's watching is in Ventura, Poseidon Brewing, I remember. I think I landed. And I texted Joe and I said, "Hey, just letting you know, I landed in California. It was a Sunday or whatever." He goes, "Hey, excellent. Poseidon's opens on Friday. I'll meet you there."
Oh, Joe's awesome, man.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your Facebook.
Yeah.
There's the book face.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to come back from my 4C school and see the expansion.
What was that again?
Can't wait.
I love this post right here. What's going on right here, Ollie?
Oh, so that's literally what I was telling you guys about today. Why you were asking me how many taps we have and all that stuff, and I was like, we had to hook up a jockey box today to serve a beer, and so we normally have about 10 beers on tap, and then a nitro, and we had all those beers on tap. So let me back up. So right now we have a beer. It's a once in a year opportunity to make, and it's called a harvest beer, where you actually use fresh, wet hops, and they have to go from what they call vine to brewer in 24, maybe 48 tops, 48 hours. So the logistics of this is just like you have to like keep a tank open and wait and like working like hand in hand with the damn the hop growers and go, when you guys harvesting, or you have to move really quick. You have to be pretty agile on it. And so we were lucky enough, there was a farm out in Fillmore that was growing like fresh organic Cascade hops. So we made our first wet hop beer, and that's Poseidon Harvest Ale. So what you see in this picture is like, we like to do shit over the top. That hop vine that you're looking at right there was a hop vine that I had in my yard when I was like home brewing like over 10 years ago. And I gave that cutting to Anthony, the assistant brewer, and he planted it in his folks' like backyard, and it's been growing ever since. So, and it was lucky enough, it was a Cascade, and this was our wet hop ale that we have on right now is a Cascade. And I'm like, cut that vine down, get it in here, and let's fucking pack this thing. Like, let's make a cask and let's pack this freaking thing full. So we got 2 pounds off of this. We put 2 pounds of those wet hops into a cask and aged it for about a week or so. So you got like literally, it's wet hop like in your face, like the
harvest beer.
Yes. So it's like the harvest beer on freaking steroids. Yeah,
it's not. Because I think a lot of people have had Sam Adams Harvest Beer or Festober or Oktoberfest, whatever the fuck it is.
Festober.
Yeah. I don't even remember what the fuck any of these other people call it. But I will say, Joe and I tried remind me what it's called again, because I can't remember.
The one I was just talking about, the Harvest Ale.
Yeah. Say again?
The Harvest-Ale?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was really good. And we asked that kiwi server you got there, and we're like, listen, if this tastes like pumpkin, I swear to Christ, it's coming right back at you. He's like, no. It was good. It was good. Real nice on the front end, real nice on the back end. Giggity.
So,
dude,
Ollie,
that beer's phenomenal.
we had a question from one of the viewers. They asked, "Do you deliver?"
Yeah. In Virginia.
Is it or is it a? Hey, look, I went on the website you guys have, and I was like, man, I hope they ship it out. And then it said pick up. It said pick up at location. I went,
hey, so listen,
why the fuck do I live in North Carolina?
Billy, I'm driving home from this time out here in California, so you let me know. I'll line the trunk.
Yeah.
A fucking ton of ice.
I just let you know.
Billy, there you go. There's your beer mule.
There we go. So, but you guys, you can order the beer if you are local. You can order the beer online, and pick it up, or
you can come pick it up. You can come pick it up, and then that was one of the that's one of the things we're building into the expansion is like so the breweries are literally like bottlenecks. So you're going to get such capacity and you're going to like hit a bottleneck, such capacity, hit a bottleneck. So it's like either like your brew house capacity is a bottleneck. You got to remove it. Like your RO unit's not big enough. You're making more beer. You got to remove it and get a bigger one. You got blah, blah, blah. So it's like one of our things is like, we don't have the cooler capacity. Our biggest bottleneck right now is cooler capacity. So the new taste room is going to have a freaking ginormous cooler in it. So we could actually package this beer, and we're looking at doing local deliveries. You're still going to have to mule your beer out to North Kakalaki.
Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
I can have it delivered to the hotel.
Is it going to be through Grizzly or like Postmates?
Grizzly.
Because I know those two deliver alcohol.
Yeah, Grizzly out here.
They do, but what we'd probably start off is like we'd like to keep things as like
simple,
local as possible. Well, yeah, simple too. That helps with it. But our philosophy was always that. So there's the way I read it that kind of resonated with me is like getting seen as vanity and getting paid as sanity. So I really don't have illusions of grandeur with the biggest mega breweries that are out there nowadays of like seeing Poseidon Brewing Company like worldwide, nationwide or worldwide. So even if we covered local and SoCal, so as long as we were like an inch wide but a freaking mile deep, I'd be happy with that. It's like it's as long as we don't go farther and faster than the crew or the brand could keep up with. Because I've seen a lot of people start to like really cut corners and water down their stuff. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's just everybody who drinks a Poseidon beer, I want them to have a phenomenal experience like I had at freaking Applebee's. It's like.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Well, Ollie, I can't.
Did I answer the question? I don't know if I answered the question.
No, you definitely did.
Okay.
So. The website, you guys have some merchandise you can purchase on there too. Was it T-shirts? I saw. Yep. Was it camp? I like the camping mugs.
Yeah. Oh, dude, those things were a huge hit, man. I had no idea how much people needed another coffee mug, but like
for the next morning. It's for your hangover. Yeah. Because you drink so much Poseidon beer.
Those camping mugs were a huge hit.
Joe has one that says, "Is it probably coffee?"
Yeah, that one.
That
one sells like at least 20 to 1 to both of the other ones put together.
Oh yeah. So we saw the red ones one day. We were checking out, and he goes, "Oh, I have a tan one at home. It says probably coffee." And I went from 6 to midnight. I was so excited. He gave me
that one. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah.
He gave me the tan one. And I was like, "Holy shit, Joe! No, hold on." He goes, Hugh, I live here. You have to fly all the way out here. When it comes out again, I'll get a replacement one. But I love that one. The one that's probably coffee. It's nice, man. I love it. Yeah, it's in the beige color there. Yeah.
So Hugh and I will definitely be coming by tomorrow, and I already told him this when we walked up earlier, and I got to meet you. I was like, I want to buy a T-shirt from here. So I will definitely be getting a T-shirt tomorrow.
Can't wait. I'm so excited.
I hope you got some like ladies smalls or something.
We have some phenomenal lady shirts, man. We have like the Razorbacks. We have V cut. We have like multiple different ladies versions of shirts. So
I made that shit look good.
Yeah. So when you guys come by tomorrow, when you come into the what's going to be our new tasting room, and you get to the reception desk, look to the left. That's all the T-shirts and everything we have. Yep.
Will do, brother.
Well, Ollie, I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your day to join us and talk about your brewery and everything. It was definitely awesome. I wish I could join them tomorrow. I'm kind of fucking jealous. Maybe I can pawn my kids off on someone and go catch a flight, for a day and come out there. But
this time next year, once the new tap room is up,
yeah, I'm coming out there, Ollie. You're gonna see my big ass out there. I'm gonna drink all your beer.
Come on out. What part of North Carolina are you at right now?
I'm actually just south of Raleigh in Johnston County.
How far are you from the new Sierra Nevada Mills River facility?
Oh,
Raleigh, you're probably about 50, 60 miles?
Yeah, probably a little over an hour.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got to go see that brewery, dude.
Yeah, no, it's on my bucket list. It really is.
Dude, everybody always asks me what's my favorite brewery other than my own, and hands down Sierra Nevada. And I did the Mills River. And if you go, this is a little bit of advice. If they're doing it, I don't know what they're doing with the COVID pandemic and all that stuff, but buy tickets for the Beer Geek Tour. Yeah, dude, they take you through that whole facility. It is a phenomenal freaking experience, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
And to be honest with you, that's kind of where I get my principles from, as far as the cleanliness and the quality, the standards and all that stuff that we do at Poseidon Brewing Company is like, fucking love Sierra Nevada, and they do amazing stuff with freaking beers. They
have good beer.
That place is immaculate.
Yeah. That's something I have to check out. I have a good friend that knows one of the co-owners of the Asheville Brewing Company out in Asheville, North Carolina. So it was we got to go there, and anyway, I was there for 3 days. I remember one of those days. So that's all I'm gonna say. We got the VIP tour.
That's typically how a good time goes.
Yeah, we got the VIP tour. It was one of those. After the first day, I woke up and I went, "Fuck, what happened?" But no, it was fun. Yeah. But I do have to check out that Sierra Nevada. I've had a couple of people here telling me we need to go out and check it out. But with the COVID, it's just been North Carolina's been on some pretty stringent lockdowns, just kind of like California has and everything. And I'm not going to get into why that is, but we all know.
It'll come to pass, man.
Yeah,
it'll
come definitely to pass.
It's like, one of my most important things is just keeping wind in sails, keeping positive, keeping motivated, keeping pushing forward, and keeping making great beer, and keep providing damn phenomenal customer service. It's we're gonna make it through this. We've been through worse than this. It's a shitty situation, but you gotta make the freaking best of it. It's you can't let it freaking drag you down like a damn sea anchor. You gotta cut those freaking lines and keep sailing, man.
Fucking power through.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Ollie, again, thank you so much, man. We'd love to have you back.
Guys, man.
We're gonna have you back again for sure, man. Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you.
I can't wait to hang out tomorrow.
Yep. We'll see you guys there tomorrow. I'll be there.
Okay, right.
All right, Ollie. Have a good night, man. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, brother.
Yep. Cheers.
It's such a great fucking place too.
Oh, that's awesome. He's good people right there. That's just good fucking people. You can just tell. I love how passionate.
Yeah, you can hear it.
He is, and I love how it's really cool to watch. We know so many people that are, veteran that own their own businesses, entrepreneurs, and it's really cool to watch you take those simple values you have from being in service and watch them carry over.
That's the thing, is that we consider them simple values, and it's so funny to me when people talk about, oh man, I never thought of that, or I would have never considered it when you hire a veteran employee or whatever. And for us, it's just standard practice. Hey, clean the floor, put the stuff away, do the thing or whatnot.
Clear out the coffee machine when you're done with it.
Jesus,
yes, absolutely. So no, I'm jealous. You guys, that I looked at their website, and just the website alone is fucking phenomenal.
Well, listen, and Billy, let me know which one you want because I'm driving home.
That lager. I want the lager.
The lager. I'm driving. Long story short, my mom's selling a car. I got it. I'm driving it home, so I'll get a little mini cooler and I'll bring you some beer.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
I just want to say I'm not a beer person. I don't normally like beer, and I've tried his, and I really like. They're really good.
I always get the Liberty Card lager when I go there. Regardless of the ABVs, I know I have a lot of friends that go out and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna try beer and it's high alcohol by volume." One, I'm like, I just want my beer to taste good.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I drink the lagers and the light colored beers and whatnot. My buddy Joe, he always drinks the reds. There's good. It's high quality.
Yeah,
it tastes good.
That's all that matters. It's really putting the heart.
Because I know Billy, I know you've been to some places where you're like, yeah, this feels really fucking weird. Like,
how I consider myself, and we talked about this when I was up there visiting a few months ago. Is I really am a beer snob. It really comes to beer. I've used that app since it pretty much came out, the Untapped app.
Yes,
and I think since then.
Out of beers, and it's not polite at all.
Oh, really?
Billy's like, you're piece of shit, fucking cocksucking mother, hell, fucking. I'm like,
I think
Billy, it's Coors, chill.
Yeah, no, I think I've tried. I think on the app, I think it's over 1,600 different types of beer on there.
Yeah,
so listen, that's how. If you ever want to get in shape like this, because this is a shape. I'll show you how to do it by just drinking craft beer.
I know Meg said
just drinking craft beer
earlier, like, oh, I'm a drunk. No, or alcoholic. Alcoholics go to meetings. Drunks have a commitment.
Yeah, that's right. Because why have a 6-pack when you can have a keg?
I'm working on my 6-pack right now.
Yeah, well,
persistent.
I'm just trying to get through the winter, so it's
it's insulation is what it is.
Okay. Yeah, that's all it is.
Tundra soon in North Carolina.
Yeah, the quarter inch of when they say the word snow in this state, the fucking whole state shuts down. It's fucking.
Well,
oh God.
Yeah.
They didn't shut down for the virus, but God forbid snow.
God forbid there's snow.
They're like, oh, it might frost tonight. Shut every road down.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. That's exactly how it is.
So before we dip out, I just want to remind you all that we're doing a fundraiser for Leashes of Valor. We're trying to raise money for service dogs to provide aid for veterans, and your money will go to transportation for training, gear, equipment, food, and the lodging for the veteran. And unlike regular fundraisers, you get dinner and a show. So if we hit our goal,
you're the show.
I am the show because look at me, I'm fucking beautiful. If we hit our goal, shut the fuck up. Megan here will be waxing my eyebrows, which we've done some research. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Don't touch me. Get away from me. We've done some research. Allegedly,
$50.
Allegedly, it's a 4 to 6 month regrowth period, depending on your medical condition. And I don't think PTSD and TBI count as a medical condition. So I will be waxed and colored in and going out in public and taking photos and embarrassing myself more.
And going live on Facebook.
Yes, we're going to do the whole thing live on Facebook, October 10th at the Leashes of Valor event at Maker's Craft Brewery in Norfolk. And if we make what I consider to be a decent amount above our goal, Guinness's nails will be painted to match.
Guinness,
and if you don't know Guinness got really long, quick. Hi, Bubby.
Come on. Oh, you stepped right on my bladder.
Guinness got long, quick. His nails are going to get painted to match. So it's on our Facebook. I know I've shared it. Billy and Meg have shared it. It's called #AngryEyebrows because I don't understand millennials and I don't understand what you're doing. And frankly, most of what you do confuses me. So I said spell it out because I thought that would get better metrics. So
I don't think it helped at all, but good shot.
It's all right.
But you can also go to our Facebook page, and we have our new website. That's an all-in-one. It has all our social media. It has a link to the GoFundMe page too. So go to our Facebook page, go to the About section, and click that link, and it has everything, all our social media, all our live feeds. Because hopefully here very very soon we're going to be on about 10 different podcast websites. and that'll be on there also.
Yep.
So go there. It has the GoFundMe page. Go there, donate. Any amount is going to help out tremendously. So
Oh my gosh.
please take your time to do that.
Billy, will you please put up Nate's comment?
I already did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll do it again, though.
Jesus fucking Christ, bub. It's a yes.
Sorry, I was getting like punched right in the bladder by Guinness.
So, listen, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for chiming in. Ollie, thank you so much for speeding home through all those police traps in Southern California to get home to be on the show. We appreciate it.
All right.
I will see you tomorrow. And for the rest of you, thank you for being here. We will see you Monday at what time? 20:30, 8:30 for civilians, PM time.
Yeah, we'll see you guys Monday at 8:30 East Coast time.
For me. Yeah.
Good night,
Later,
fuckers.
homies. Oh, God, I'm so excited to get drunk.